Good morning, everybody. I hope you are all doing fantastic today and are having a great day and ready to see some shrimps. So, how is everybody? Looks like we got Jamie Anderson in here, Tim from Crypt Keeper, Tim from Crypt Keeper Aquatics. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Bitterman. Looks like we got shrimp emoji going on already. So I will be very excited and happy to share with the both of you and the last person that just joined. I fixed Nightbot. So Nightbot will no longer spam my memberships, which will be greatly appreciated by everybody. And like I try to do every stream, I would like to give a big shout out to all of my members. You guys are amazing. Tim from Crypt Keeper Aquatics, Shelly Speet at Lucky Aquatics, Bob Moss, Nanotanks, Robert Redmond, Tater Salad, Jamie Anderson, and my lovely wife, Amber. Thank you guys so much for being members. You're amazing. All right, let's get this party started. I had some food ready. Yeah, chimpies. We'll start off with the blue bolt tank because there's absolutely a crap ton of shrimp in this tank. How's that look? Could be better. Back it up. Whoa, what is happening? I'm losing control. That's not bad. We'll get a good shot from that. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We'll just see. Tim was not the first person, huh? T minus 3 minutes. Yeah, I think I started either right on time or a little bit late. Let's see. Tim says, getting an ammonia test developing now for the shrimp setup. Hoping it is almost done recycling. Guess there was more beneficial bacteria in the original substrate after all. Soon I'll have some cool Carradinas. I'm excited for you, man. That's going to be awesome. Hey, Bradless2292, how are you? Tim says, I've been tripping. Yeah, that's why I call you Tim. I've been tripping up hosts with my channel name. They keep stuttering over all the hard K sounds. Yeah, it's the Crypt Keeper part right there. Try to say that fast when you're talking. Did I say Bradless? Bradles? Bradles? There you go. Hey, Bradles. Baby by the brown thing. Yeah, I still don't know what you were talking about. I can't find it. Hey, Bob Moss, how are you? My favorite. Oh, I can't say that. I was gonna say my favorite Canadian, but Jamie's in here. I might get some people twisted. So Tim says, is this the one you just got more of to increase diversity of genetics? Yes, this is the new addition blue bolts. So I added 10 more blue bolts to this tank to help with genetics. Good morning, baby. Robert Redmond, thanks for joining. How are you, sir? Bob says, I'm so excited for my video this week. I'm very proud of it. Well, feel free to plug it up here. Go for it, man. Mob Boss Nanotanks, yes. Great. Watching from Australia at 3 a.m. There you go. Yeah, I'm glad it's not 3 a.m. I just woke up. You're all my favorite Canadians. I love all my Canadians equally. The boss mob. Mob boss. When is a good time to introduce new shrimp into a colony? Anytime. After a year or two's, adding some more genetics is always good. But I'm no expert. But I would say adding adding new genetics at any point in a colony would help, because you're only going to diversify things as time goes on. (3:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time). Is it 3 o'clock already for you? You're not a 5-hour difference, are you, Tim? Hey, Tatiana, thanks for joining. From Florida. Bob Moss says, this Friday, I break down those Lacey Act amendments. That'd be cool to get an outside perspective and see how it does. I'm not too worried about it. I feel that we'll adapt and overcome whatever happens. And I think it's more of like people getting scared and gazelling because one person says, oh, it's going to do this and that, and until it really happens, we're not really going to know what it entails because the wording's so vague. But I'm confident everything will work out. The pet industry is a big one, and I don't feel that it would, if it was going to affect that, somebody would pay to stop it. All your content's pretty well done. You do a good job, man. Bob Moss says, I should have early access. Yes. I'll have to go check it out. Gotcha. I didn't think it was 3 o'clock there. Saying that's the best time to add shrimp. Bob says people are just freaking out. Don't want to spoil my video. Hey, Kay, welcome to the stream. Tim says he touched on it in one of his videos. Tank setup 2. I'll have to go check it out. Atkins, how are you? The Oscars are doing good. They are fighting like as soon as I start streaming in the kitchen. Tim says he's not writing his senators. I trust it'll all work out. I have faith. It better work out and working to start a shrimp business. What if I move the mouse over here? Well, it's still wobbly. I need to set up a desk. So once we get the new house, I'll set up a desk for streaming. So what's everybody got planned today? Anything exciting? We doing anything shrimp related? Fish related? Dog related? There we go. Yeah, this tank's doing really well. There's I'll move the camera real quick, but the amount of blue bolts in this tank, like this pile here, doesn't even come close to the amount of shrimp that are in here. There's so many shrimp in this tank. This is one of my most prolific tanks. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to keep an eye on it, because when a tank does this good, if you don't split them up, eventually you'll start to see it crash, because it's just building nitrates faster than you do water changes. I switched to 30% water changes once a week, and that seems to be helping with a lot of it. So I'm hoping that this is the first tank I have that doesn't crash, because my crystals did it, my cherries did it. It happens when you are successful at breeding hundreds of shrimp, because the colony just grows too fast, and you your tank can't sustain it, especially in these 10-gallon tanks, these little tanks. If you have a bigger tank, you could probably go a lot longer before you start to see it. But I'm hoping that I can keep up on it. And culling is a good way to do that. So if you strict cull, like just keep what you feel is the best, then you're good. All right, let's catch up on chat. Jamie's got to go pooper scoop. Kay asks, have you culled the black head spots from the bolt tank? No. So you'll see that some of them in here still have that head spot. And depending on what I'm doing today, I may take care of that today, because there's a lot of them in there. And I do it every now and then. I'll jump in there and to, cull them out. Hey, babe, if you're on the Wi-Fi, can you jump to your network? I'm getting some drop in quality here. See if I can do that here too. Not sure if that's going to affect the shrimp quality. If the shrimp camera starts to drop in quality, you guys let me know. Oh, there it goes. Goodbye. Let's see if it comes back. There we go. I disconnected from my Wi-Fi because having the computer, my phone, and then Amber's phone on there all at the same time. Why'd you have to break down your tank? So Atkins says he had to break down his rimless living room tank yesterday. Tim is going to take a trip to Lowe's, get some camping supplies, or no, crafting supplies, and then go up to Herkimer Diamond Mine. That'd be cool. Bob says he traded plants and shrimp for 3 10-gallons. Nice. It's always good. It's a good trade. There you go, Tim. That's a good way to give back to the community. He's going to speak with the local fire chief and set up a demonstration on aquarium electrical water safety. That's a 10-gallon tank. Fill it up and see what happens. It's not like it's 100 gallons. I did see that, Jamie. So Pawfly is the air system that I use for my aquariums. It's got a 4 outlet, and he shared an Amazon listing for one that's battery powered, which in a pinch, if you have electrical outages often, that could save you quite a bit. Amber says she thinks it's the storms. I'm not on Wi-Fi. Yeah, now that you mention it, it's getting pretty cloudy out there. So if I'm dropping in and out, we're supposed to have some pretty big thunderstorms today. So we'll keep going and see what happens. Don't hate me. Let's see if I can pronounce this. So Hoang Nguyen. I have a tank for 2 weeks. You think I could put shrimp in yet? It depends on what kind of substrate you have and whether or not you used a established filter. So if the filter came from an aquarium that had already had shrimp in it and is already cycled, that speeds up the process. But it's hard to say that it's just a surefire thing. Yeah, 2 weeks is enough time. If it's a brand new tank, I would give it a couple more weeks and see. Drop a little bit of food in there, maybe some snails or something to get that bacteria going. You can also go and purchase live bacteria. Seachem makes a product called Stability, as well as Brightwell makes something called Florinbacter 7. And those two products add live bacteria to the aquarium to help with your cycle process. So it's not an instant cycle situation, but it definitely helps. Now, if it's we're going down the rabbit hole with this one. If it's a Carradina tank, that means it's a low pH tank, then you can be a little bit more forgiving with the ammonia, but what you have to watch out for is the nitrite. So ammonia gets bound to ammonium at a lower pH and a lower temperature, but nitrite will still be pretty deadly. So you want to make sure that if you're stocking a new tank, stock it lightly and then go up from there. So Atkins says, my roommate's kid dumped 2 containers of food in the tank. I tried to save, but it stank, so I threw it out. Yeah, that's tough, man. When that happens, you got to act quick. You almost have to completely flush everything out. Grant, how are you, sir? Super excited for the shrimp contest. Can't wait. More to that soon. Aquaballs, how are you? So Tim asks, do you have a bucket list for projects you want to do? Can you share some of them? So if you are a regular to my channel, you know that me and Amber are buying our first home, which is super exciting. I can't wait. And one of the rooms is going to be specifically a shrimp room. So projects that I'm working on are setting up the shrimp room. So what that's going to entail is I got to rip the carpet up. So brand new house, yay! They wouldn't let me skip the carpet in that room. So I asked them, I'm like, is there any way we could just not put carpet in there? I might leave it cement, put tile down, do something. And they're like, no, we got to put carpet down. So brand new house, I'm going to rip the carpet up in that room, and I'm going to put the industrial commercial racks, the big metal ones, and then I'm going to be setting up a bunch of tanks. So what that entails for a new shrimp room build is I'm going to be running a central air line. So I'm going to have a massive air pump that runs all the aquariums, as well as I need to set up an RO unit, which entails me drilling through the wall into the bathroom to set up the RO unit in the bathroom. So I'm going to set up the RO unit in the bathroom, have the water line flow through the wall into just basically trash cans. So that way I have tons of RO for all these tanks, because if I'm doing 30% water changes in 10-gallon tanks, right now I'm going through 15 gallons a week just in the 5 tanks. So I'm going to be going through quite a bit more. So I'm going to need that RO system set up so I can get this going. And then of course I got to do all the lighting. So there's a lot going on with my channel. And if you're just joining now, subscribe. I'm almost to 3,000. I think I need like 6 or 7 more people. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, go do so now. So that way, as I build this shrimp room, as I get more shrimp and do stuff, you guys will see all that. So I've got a lot going on this year. This is going to be, one of the biggest years for us with the new house and starting the business. So once we get the house, all the paperwork done, we're going to apply for a business license. So that way I can write off all of this stuff. I can write off the flooring, the racks, the RO system, everything. So I'm super excited for that. Atkins says he only had 1 fish in the tank. It survived. As long as that fish is good, toss it in another tank and then you can start over. That's the exciting thing. You get to start over a new tank. Whoa. Tatiana asks, any benefit to using the DSM for mosses or carpet plants in my shrimp tank? What is DSM? I'm drawing a blank. DSM. No problem, Huang. Keep us updated. Let us know how it goes. What kind of shrimp are you going to put in there? Aquaball says, I saw your video on the crystal blue tiger to pinto black. Did the shrimp stay blue or turn black? So we will do a feeding in that tank here in a second. And it looks like the ones that had that stripe with the blue were simply King Kong. So they were just the black Taiwan shrimp, which I had a suspicion from the beginning that that was what had happened, that it was just a pure King Kong shrimp, just a lower quality. Once I set up the shrimp room and have more tanks, I'm going to be more strict with my crossbreeding projects. So what I'll do is I'll actually separate all those shrimp out. So I'll separate the ones that are clear. I'll separate the ones that have the stripes, and we'll separate them out so that way we can really have a more controlled crossbreeding experiment. This was more of a, let's throw it all together, see what happens, and then build the colonies. So that way I have more shrimp later on. Grant says, I'm in full gear. I got so much I got to do still before the show. Probably going to be up all night. Yeah, I'm surprised you're even in here, man. I'm sure you got a lot going on. I can't wait. I need to plug in my tracking info and see. Jamie says, you're a patient woman, Amber. Going to let Kyle trash the new house. Ryan says, when is the house ready? So we have a close date of April 15th, and we'll see. I use Kirkland water for my tank. Is this good or bad? Is that Kirkland, like the drinking water? What I would do is just test the the TDS, the GH, and the KH and see where it's at. And it depends on what kind of shrimp you're going to keep. So what kind of shrimp are you keeping? I was going to say, so she gets her craft room, which she said she wants to paint with glitter. I don't even know how you paint with glitter. And then I get to do whatever I want in my shrimp room. So it's a compromise. You know, you can have your pink glitter walls and I'll have a room full of shrimp. And then when we have kids, we'll have to fight. We'll see who has to give up one of their rooms. Dry start method. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, it depends on what kind of plants you're wanting to use. I'm not a huge aquascaper. So as far as the dry start method, maybe somebody in here can elaborate on that as far as what they prefer and what success they've had with the dry start method. I've never done it personally myself. I'm big on just throwing stuff in a tank and seeing what happens. Robert Redmond, all good here, not long back in from work. There you go, man. Huang says, I'm putting golden bee shrimp. There you go. Those are one of my favorites. I actually get a few of those come out of this Blue Bolt tank as well as my crystal tank. I've got them in my coal tank upstairs. Yeah, so you definitely want to test your water and make sure that it has a, no KH and then a GH of at least 4 to 6. Right around there. If you're not remineralizing and you're just using the water that you have. I know here in Arizona, we don't have that option. So Bob says, I'm looking at our units, but my house has PEX, not copper piping. So I'm not sure on the install difficulty. Well, copper you don't want, especially with shrimp tanks. Well, I guess with the RO unit, it'll probably filter that out. Is PEX the really thin flexible tubing? Because that's what we have as well. I believe you could just tap into a water line to like a sink or something, because that's how they install RO units for your kitchen. I moved my ram to a different tank, but that fish was alone for a reason. He's a jerk. He's killed other fish. You'll have to put him in timeout again, I'm sure. Bob, there's a 6. So I've spent a little bit of money on some pH pens, and I am not a fan of them. They can be good, but with my experience with them, I haven't really had much luck. So I just use the drops. I use a API test kit, and I just use a liquid test kit to really figure it out that way. Let's go to a different tank now. Go ahead and drop some food. We'll go to the Black King Kong Extremes and our Orange Eye Blue Tigers. We'll see how that's doing. There you go. Atkins says PEX is easy to tap into. Yeah, so PEX is that clear, flexible tubing. I'm not opposed to them, but I haven't personally tried them myself. I know there's a lot of benefits to them because it allows for your water to be in contact with more of the substrate, so it allows for the pH to buffer a little bit better, at least with my understanding of how people have explained it. I wouldn't worry too much about copper. So Tim asks, should we be testing for copper? And I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you're using a RO system, then it should filter all that out. The only time I would really test for copper is if you just have mass amounts of deaths and nothing is surviving. Brian says, did I miss the giveaway? No giveaways. Not on that level. Jamie says, Bob, there's a $60 RO kit on Amazon for under sink. Yeah, I'm probably going to invest a little bit more into an RO unit because I don't want to have to replace it. John, how are you, sir? I see how it is. You say hi to Jamie, but not me. Thank you, Nightbot. So Nightbot says, become a member of the Poseidon's Pets posse, and then you can do fun things like all of these emojis. Emoji bomb for Nightbot. All proceeds go to all my shrimp. Merlost, how are you? The topic is whatever we want to discuss. Shrimp related or fish related. There you go. I do not have an RO system. I actually go and fill up water jugs at the grocery store. Now, the only downside to that is my TDS is anywhere from 15 to 30. And if there's any type of carbonates in there, as far as like calcium or magnesium, anything that can buffer the pH up, that's going to eat away at your substrate. So you may have to replace your soil more often, which if you have one shrimp tank, that's fine. Just replace your soil every year and a half. And then, but if you're trying to breed like I am, you don't want to have those extra costs every year. So you want to minimize the costs, and having an RO unit will help with that. I'll fix the camera. This is a terrible angle. Some little black King Kong extremes, orange eyes. That's the sound of the tripod moving. Howdy ho, Ranger Dan. Oh, thanks for the hugs, bro. I don't need no RO. My scrimp like chew in their water. Keep their shells extra crunchy. It's terrible. Poland Springs distilled water is 0 TDS, confirmed with 2 different pens. There you go. So when I first started out, I would purchase RO water or distilled water because that was 0 TDS. But usually it's about $1 a gallon, and that starts to get kind of pricey. So I go and refill my water jugs at those refill stations because it's like $1.80 for 5 gallons instead. Yeah, Higer reached out to me too, and I deleted that email. I've just heard bad things about them, and they want you to. I shouldn't say anything. They're trying to pay for reviews. Like, I'm all for free stuff, but I've just heard too many things. But I'm glad you're excited about it, man. But free stuff is free stuff. I had somebody in China who was making stuff send me things there for a while. They sent me thermometers and test strips and all kinds of cool stuff. And then she found out I didn't have a pet shop and stopped sending me things. I guess she thought I owned a business and a store. I felt bad when she told me that, but I never said I did. Yeah, so you can see here the Black King Kongs there. They still have a hint of blue to them, but they've definitely darkened up. They've gotten a lot blacker. I cannot get this to focus today. Or my standards are ridiculously high, one of the two. I want the perfect shrimp. Ooh, that looks pretty good, right? Let's do this. Get out of here. You move out the way there, plants. I need to take some of the floating plants out of this tank. There's just a ridiculous amount in there. Ah! We're good. Let's throw the macro lens on there. Maybe we'll get some better shots. There you go. That looks pretty good. See, we got this. We got this. What did I miss? Jamie says, when are you going to set up a low-grade red cherry 50 gal? I don't do anything low-grade, Jamie. My cherries were actually some of the best in the area when I was breeding them, and I finally had a colony crash because I still didn't know what I was doing. Really, Nightbot? Why you gotta be a tool? Why you gotta do me like that? Let's try this again. Two seconds. See if that works. If it sucks, I won't be afraid to say it. Yeah, that's as long as you're giving good reviews and you're not just giving 5-star reviews for the free product. Because as long as they're not asking for that too, if they're telling you like, hey, you got to give me 5 stars and I'll send you stuff, then there you go. Maybe I'll reach out and see what they want to send me. That's how I feel, John. If I don't like it, then I'm gonna say something. What I did was any of the products they sent me, if I didn't like it, I just didn't leave a review. I kept quiet about it. I'd rather not put bad stuff out there. If I don't have anything good to say, I'm not gonna say anything. Can you guys stop moving everything around, please? Hello, tiny elephant. Sarah, come here. Let me fix your ear. Oh, come here, Sarah. She's not gonna let me. Atkins says, find a good reef store. They should have 0 TDS water. They sell to customers. A lot cheaper, but some stores don't clean the RO filters and don't have pure RO water. Bring your TDS bin. Yeah, I found a few stores, and it's about the same quality as the refill stations, because the refill stations have RO. It's basically a giant RO system. Wang says, crystal red shrimp with the golden bee. Will that be a good mix? So don't quote me on this, but I believe crystal reds came from golden bees. So golden bees are the original wild type of shrimp. And then they slowly started to develop the red stripes or the black stripes. I think it was the black stripes came first, and then the red started to show up too. So you can definitely cross them. What'll happen is I think you're going to find your golden bees or your crystals will start to have less red. So they'll still have the red stripe, but it'll be more of a like a single stripe or just a dot on the head. Hey, Zen Ginger, how are you? Long time no see. Why isn't this working? All right, let's see if we can fix this real quick. Because if you know anything about me, when I create my Nightbot commands, I will never go back and fix it once it has a problem. Because it took me, I think, like 3 weeks to finally fix my membership one. There we go. Try that now. Discord. Manda Panda. Hey, Garrick, how are you? Sorry I didn't see your message on Instagram. You know, Instagram, if we're not following each other, I think it sends it to a second category, and then I didn't get notified that it was in there. There we go. All right, I got Nightbot to work. So if you would like to join the Shrimp Enthusiast Discord chat, feel free to do so. There's all kinds of people on there talking about shrimp and doing shrimpy things. So come hang out, join the chat, have some fun. So I'm pretty confident that you see that clear bluish baby right there up in the front, like these guys here. I'm pretty confident that those are a successful crossbreed of the black King Kongs and the orange eye blue tigers. Now I want to, like I said, I want to set up a separate tank so that way I can control this experiment a little bit more. So throw in orange eye blue tiger females and then like some black King Kong males, and that way I know for sure that we're getting crossbreeds instead of a random lottery type system like I have going on now. I think I'm missing people in the chat because you guys are saying hi to folks that I can't even see. So if you're in there, hello, how are you? No. Yeah. That's okay. So Nguyen asks, how do you know male and female shrimps? So you'll see this is a female here because the belly is more rounded. So you can see her belly or skirt is a lot more rounded. Now, if you look at this one here, I'm pretty sure that's a male because there's no roundness to that belly. The males are a lot skinnier. They don't have that rounded skirt. And you can usually spot them after they grow up. Oh, look at that little tiny one. Oh, little tiny one. Little tiny baby shrimp. All right, let's see. We'll go to let's do this. Let's go to the dragon blood tank. Oh God, I'm gonna lose everything. I've lost it all. You guys can watch me work. So we're gonna move some of these plants out of the way. So that way when I move the light, we can actually see what's in this tank. And then move the lights over. Oh God, we're good. Everything's fine. Every little thing is gonna be all right. That's a big piece. Enjoy your breakfast. Don't look at my butt. Don't look at it. Here, shrimpy, 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 shrimp. Shrimp, come out to play. What time is it? We've already been going for 40 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Wang says, thank you. Good to know. I just started. Well, I'm excited for you to join the shrimp keeping hobby. It is definitely fun and rewarding, especially when you start to see all the little babies in the tank and your shrimp start to do good. Merlos, yeah, show the babies. I already moved tanks. I already moved over. So hopefully the detritus worms, hopefully the baby shrimp in this tank will be old enough to start swarming to the food too. We'll see what happens. I did not see your water change video, but if you were not dripping the water back in and didn't have a filter cover, then it probably would have got to me. Oh, look, there's a shrimp. Yeah, that's why I said the detritus worm. Well, detritus worm. Detritus word. There's a Rabicoculus. Oh, here they come. They smell it. I can see them swarming. Don't drag the food away. These guys are notorious for trying to pick up the pellet and just pull it anywhere they can. You're a detritus worm by the brown thing. The brown thing on the right. Watch out, coming up. I'm telling you, trying to record these guys, they grab it and then just try to swim away. Like, just eat it. Like, why do you got to go and move it all around the tank? Like, see, look at his little swimmerettes going. Just going a mile a minute. He's like, no, it's mine. You guys can share. There's only 20 shrimp in this tank. It's not like you have to fight over it. Especially because I should have fed half that size for the amount of shrimp that are in here. Oh, there we go. A mama with eggs. She's going to take that pellet and run. Guarantee it. Is that the one? No, she doesn't have eggs. So there's one of them, if you just watched my video I released yesterday. Goodbye. There's one of them that her eggs looked super developed, like she was about to drop them any minute. So I'm sure she probably did, especially because that looks like two of my bigger females, and both of them had eggs, so they probably dropped. I'll have to check the filter out and see. John says, I added water slowly with a 4-pint jug over the space of about 10 seconds. Yes, very slowly, as I dripped 3 gallons over a period of like 8 hours. Yeah, take out. There you go. They want to take out and not eat it. I wonder if they have like a dominance thing, because some of those older females, they can be jerks. I've seen them come in and just like barrel through the pile of shrimp and grab the pellet and run. Bob's killing himself. See, if you don't work out, you don't have that problem. All right, 2 seconds. Could you guys stop, please? Like, what? Why is this a problem? I'm coming in. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Get out of the way. Move. Move, shrimp. Move. Knock your crap off. Stay. Don't move. Someone come take my shrimp from me. They're misbehaving. Tim says, just got done testing the tank, pH 6.8, KH 0, GH 6, ammonia 1.2. Ooh. Nitrate less than 5, nitrite 0, calcium, 40. TDS 170, just started fertilizing, was 145. Oh, God. That scared me. Yeah, so your TDS is still kind of high. So before you add shrimp, I would definitely do another water change. I think last we talked, you were going to let it cycle a little bit and then do a larger water change. Oh my gosh. These shrimp are ridiculous. Yeah, there you go. Drag it back that way. I don't know if I could repeat that, John. Baby, you want to go to Joe's Farm Grill?
What?
Want to go to Joe's Farm Grill?
Yeah.
It's going to rain.
We can sit inside if it's raining.
All right. Go get some lunch. Take you out on a date.
Oh, yeah.
You can't say that. Of course you guys want to drag it to where I can't put my tripod. There you go. And I would, what kind of fertilizer are you using? Because most of it is shrimp safe, but I would be cautious with the fertilizers. If you can, I would switch to like a Brightwell fertilizer, because you said you're running CO2 in that tank, I believe. Yeah, Costco date. No, we're going to go out to eat. That's a nice sit-down restaurant. Yeah, so it looks like I've got one buried female in there at least. See if I can. I'm going to get a better look. All right. So one dragon blood with eggs so far that I see. 2 dragon bloods. I think this one here has eggs. And then there's one over here that has eggs too. So this girl here. So that girl, no, I thought you had eggs. Oh, there she is. Yeah, so this one has eggs, and so does this one over here. So I've got 2 buried females with the dragon bloods. Ooh, plant. There we go. Now I had 4 females carrying eggs of the red calcios, and it looks like I only have 1 right now. Nope, I see 2. Okay. So I see 2, and they are One of them's newly buried. And the other one, turn for me, mama. Come on, where you at? Let me see your belly. Let me see your belly. And goodbye. Yep. Okay. So that one is the one that has the egg super developed. All right. Where's my camera? Oh, where's my lens? Let's see if we can get a picture of her. Where are you going? So she's back there in the back, but she's gonna drop her eggs any minute or any day, I should say. Maybe they'll come into focus. So this tank's doing good. I see a few babies on the filter. I haven't seen a swarm of babies on the filter, so we'll have to keep an eye on them and see how they do. These guys have been difficult to breed for some people, so I'm not sure if it's a matter of the shrimp actually burying up and having the eggs, or if it's a matter of baby survival. So only time will tell with how these guys do and what comes out of this tank. Tim says, any ways to get pH lower? Shouldn't it be closer to 6? Water and soil been intake a full week now with filters running. My tanks sit anywhere from 6.0 to 6.4. So if you're, what'd you say you're at, 6.8, 6.5? 6.8. Yeah, that's on the high side. And you're using Brightwell, I believe. When you do a water change, I think it's going to help you a lot. Because you may have some leftover carbonates in there. Supersize her fries for her, Kyle. Yeah, pH is too high for Carradina for sure. I would make sure that your fertilizer isn't affecting your pH, because if it's adding, calcium, magnesium, anything that affects pH, then you might be affecting the pH that way. Ryan says it might snow today, so it's going to get that cold. All right. Maybe where he lives. Wang says, I have a 10-gallon tank. What do you think water change I need to do every week? So I started out with 10% every 2 weeks. And then I went to 20% every 2 weeks. And then I went to 20% every week. And now I'm sitting at 30% every week. So if you drip the water back in slowly, you can do larger water changes. You just want to make sure that you are aging your RO water and remineralized water. What I do is I let it sit for a few days with an air stone running to get it going. If you can't do all that, then you definitely want to do smaller water changes. It just depends on the size of your colony and how much you feed. So the standard is, 10 to 20% every 2 weeks, and you're usually safe if you have a small colony. It's more of how you're doing your water changes than the amount, because if you're doing it safely, you can do large water changes. It's just if you're new with shrimp, then most people recommend 10 to 20%, because you're not going to shock the shrimp with the water change. Quiet Money KB says, how can you tell how far along the breeded shrimp are? So what I'm looking at is the development of the eggs. So as they develop, as they get older, when they first get buried up, so if you look at that female right in front there, you can see how light her eggs are to where, yeah, it's already gone. I can't point it out. If you watch my video I just posted yesterday, there is a section where I show a highly developed female with her eggs. So I believe it's like 3 minutes in. You can see the difference. So when they first get fertilized and they go under their skirt, they look like little balls of clay. You can't see through them at all. It's just a solid little ball. And as they develop, that membrane starts to get clear, and you can start to actually see the little shrimp inside, and you can see the eyeballs and stuff like that. So just by looking at them, you can see how far along they are. Usually you don't notice the eyeballs and stuff until it's about a week out, I would say. And they're gone. Whoa, crap. They took the food and ran. 2 seconds. Can you guys stop? Could you stop, please? Please stop. Excuse me. Excuse me, shrimp. Excuse me, shrimp. Coming in. Watch out. I'm gonna beat you, shrimp. Keep moving on food like that. All right, let's see. While I'm up, let's see if we can't see some of these babies on the filter. Watch out, shrimp. I'm gonna move the light right over the filter. And go. So you can see them back there. I see 1, 2, 3. There's about 3 of them back there on the filter. So this, where's my finger? That little speck right there, that's a baby shrimp. That's usually a good way to look at them. Is most of the babies will flock to the filter because all of the small food particles. So if you're waiting to see if your buried females had released their eggs, look at your filter. You'll be able to see. It's usually the first sign. So those babies look good. They're doubled in size. Oh, dang, it's pouring. It's raining. It's not pouring, but it's raining. They've doubled in size since I last saw them. So they're definitely doing well. They've probably had a first molt or 2. So that gives me hope that if I still see babies at this point, then I have a good feeling that they're going to do okay. And after we're done streaming today, I'll probably put some powdered food in there just to make sure. Yep, absolutely. So size of eggs and eyes visible. Great answer, John. And that is a easier explanation than what I had. Size of colony and basically your nitrates. So TDS, I keep it right around 110. And GH6. There you go, Jamie. That's a good idea. So you can buy, I believe Sarah makes it. So Sarah makes peat moss that you can purchase to use in your aquarium. And peat is a good way to lower the pH. I don't use it and I don't have experience with it because I don't want to stress my shrimp out by fluctuating the water too much, because if I'm lowering with peat and then the water I add back in is not the same pH, so there's a lot of things you can try. With this being your first shrimp tank, just try to get it as close as you can and then go from there. All right, looks like Bob popped himself with a resistance band. I'm pretty far back in the chat, so let me catch up.
Oh, you're so far back.
I am so far back. Your OnlyFans? I'm saying it's a chance. I'm not sure what's in the fertilizers you're using. I know you can purchase ferts from Brightwell and it's all shrimp safe. So maybe look into that. Continuous water change, yeah. Hey, Shelly, welcome to the chat. You missed it. I just talked about all the babies and stuff in this tank. You'll have to scroll back a little bit. Hey, Chris, how are you? I just mud them up, man. Throw them in the tank and then see what happens. Yes. So I've noticed that. What are you doing? You see that one riding the other one? These guys are bullies. So I've moved the food like 3 or 4 times now. If you watched my last video, just trying to get any content to record or like get them on video was tough. I had to keep moving the food. So the video will play for like 30 seconds and then it'll be a transition and then play for 30 seconds, then be a transition because I had to keep moving it. They just kept taking the food away. So it looks like I have 2 buried dragon bloods and 2 red calcios. So one of my calcios or 2 of my calcios dropped their eggs, which is nice. And it looks like one of them's about ready. I may have 3 buried females. I thought I saw 3 at one time, but they're moving around too much. So I added a new command today. So if you would like, feel free to join the Shrimp Enthusiasts Discord channel. So if you just type !Discord, Nightbot will do its thing. Instead of OnlyFans, they should make an OnlyFins page. Oh, nerds. All right, 2 seconds. Gonna go grab a drink. BRB. I did. Orange vanilla seltzer water. Why you gotta be like that? All right. So now that we are almost to the end of the stream, I will tell you guys what my video is going to be tomorrow. I have entered into the American Shrimp Contest through Aquashella, and it is in Florida this week. And they have a shrimp contest that you can ship shrimp in if you are not available to meet up and go there. So I shipped my shrimp off yesterday. I shipped my shrimp and I entered in my crystal reds and my crystal blacks, which I have been working on these guys since November of 2020. 2020, yeah. So November 9th, 2020, I got my first crystal reds and crystal blacks. It was my first ever Carradina tank. And I have been working that line of shrimp for the last year or so. It's not quite 2 years, but yeah, a year for sure. So I've been just selectively breeding those guys to get the 3 stripes. I know there are some higher grades that have just 1 stripe, but I wanted to focus on the traditional 3 red and black stripes. And they've been doing really well. So what we'll do is I'm going to switch over to that tank so that way you guys can see these guys. and we're going to manifest this. So these are my award-winning crystal reds and crystal blacks. We're going to manifest the win. And this tank also has the strongest flow of filter, so trying to get the plants out of the way is ridiculous. Now, I did feed them yesterday so I could catch them, so we'll see if they swarm, but this tank has the most amount of my adult shrimp in it, so usually there's no problem with them eating and swarming. I could feed this tank every day, but if I feed this tank every day, then we're going to have problems with nitrate, so I try not to do that. Boop. Now, just like the Dragon Bloods and the Calcios, this pellet will not be here for very long because they are going to move it, and we will not see them for very long. And you can see that there are absolutely tons of babies in this tank. So I recently added more substrate to help lower the pH, as well as the reason I switched my water changes to 30% every 2 weeks was this tank. So the TDS was climbing, the nitrates were climbing. I wasn't seeing any babies. I wasn't seeing any buried females. So I added more substrate, increased my water changes. And sure enough, I've got tons of buried females, tons of babies now. Everybody's doing great. Get the fudge out of here, snail. But like I said, I have been hard culling this tank for a year now, and these guys look amazing. So this is one of my favorite tanks. They absolutely look awesome. Liquid Zoo only fins. But you can see naked fish on Google. I do not have any red fancy tigers or black fancy tigers. I would love to, though. Thoughts on Tetra black water for fertilizer, good or bad? I have no experience with it. Black water is good to add tannins. I actually use Brightwell's black water. Where is it? So Grant Eater at the Garden of Eater turned me onto this stuff, and it is made by Brightwell, but it's basically just humic and fulvic acid, or humic acid, and then some other stuff as well. But if you're looking to add some tannins and stuff to your water, that's good for that. So if it's similar to that product, then I would say it's good. I try to stick to stuff that's made specifically for shrimp because we spend so much money on these tanks that I would hate for, something to happen. Shelly says, that's exciting. Good luck in the contest. I was thinking about entering in a couple of the hybrid categories, but it's been a hectic week around here. I work in sales. I work for Sleep Number, so I sell mattresses. And President's Day is one of the busiest times of year for us. So I was working 10-hour weeks, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just completely swamped. And Grant talked me into submitting shrimp. So I figured, I'm like, what the heck? I got a bunch of other stuff going on. I might as well add one more thing to it too. But I was able to have my busy work week and still get some shrimp out of it, which I'm surprised I was able to accomplish. So I'm with you, though. I'm pulled in so many different directions that sometimes I wonder if I'm ever going to have time for it all. No, it's manifestation. I didn't jinx myself. I'm going to win. I'm old. Took me like 10 minutes to get Discord to work. That's okay. I still struggle with it. Brightwell shill. Brightwell should start giving me a cut. Oh, you see that guy up front? So this guy right here, you see how brown that is? So that would be a coal. It doesn't have the third band on the tail, and he's a dark brown. So when I coal this tank, that would be something that I pull out because I want the deep black. I want the deep red. I don't want those brown colors. And that's how I've got this tank to look as good as I have, is just extreme pickiness and attention to detail. Excuse me. Did I say you could move? Did I say you could take that behind the cinnamon? No, I didn't, did I?
There's cinnamon in there?
Yeah, there's cinnamon.
Where's their eyes?
Remember when the whole house stank of cinnamon and you said I could never do that again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is when I did that. Excuse me, shrimp. I'm going to move this cinnamon on you. Yeah, so cinnamon bark is a good way to add some wood. I think it was Jamie. Jamie told me about cinnamon. Or maybe Mark, somebody. Yeah, could you not move the food, please? Thanks. I'm trying to show you guys off, okay? This is a year of accomplishment here, and you guys are ruining it. Oh, got some bladderwort in the tank. You see that floating bit right there? Where'd it go? So bladderwort is a carnivorous plant, and it will eat your baby shrimp. I lost it. That's great. I've pretty much got all of it out, but I see the occasional piece floating around. Oh well. Small little piece like that's not going to hurt too much, but if you have too much, it will start to eat your baby shrimp. Oh, moved all the plants again. Get floating plants, they said. It's going to lower your nitrates, they said. It's also going to make it to where you can't see your shrimp. All right, I'm going to drop some food in the serrata tank. I want a bigger piece. Because I know these guys are just going to move it right back behind that corner there. But we'll get the tiger shrimp swarming, and then we'll go to that tank. Mexicali, how are you? Thanks for joining. Hey, Zen, we'll see you. Thanks for jumping in. Huang asks, so you can have the red and black together? Yes. So Carradina red and crystal black shrimp can breed together. What'll happen is you'll either have a crystal red baby or a crystal black baby, so they won't mix. That was one of the reasons why I started with these shrimp, because I had one Carradina tank I was going to set up, but I wanted multiple colors. So I put these guys together so that way I can have multiple colors. But when I move, I'm going to be separating them out. There is also crystal red and crystal black pure line. So pure black line and pure red line, PRL and PBL shrimp cannot be mixed together, or shouldn't be, I should say, because they are a pure line of crystals that are breeding true. So most crystals will throw red or black babies. So even if I separate these guys out, I'm going to get the occasional red or black in each one. But they have what's called the pure lines, to where they only throw red, they only throw black. Usually you pay more for those. So if you're getting if you're getting pure black line and pure red line, you probably don't want to mix them because you're paying a premium for those genetics. Another one, bigger male. Yo, hello, Antonio. How are you? No sleep bed for me. I don't think it's the complaint department. It was the worst bed ever. Sorry, my opinion. Oh, you didn't like your sleep number bed? It's because you didn't have me as a salesperson. I would have made sure that you got the right bed for you. Hey, Hot Dog Tar, how are you? That is an interesting name. I am actually using my phone. So what I have is I just have my phone connected to a tripod, and that's what I use to create all of my content. I have a iPhone. What do I have? An iPhone 11, 12?
11.
I have an iPhone 11. Yeah, so if you're starting to record videos and you want to YouTube, most phones are enough, more than enough. They have excellent cameras nowadays. Bob says, "How did you end up with Bladderwort?" I've got it in most of my tanks. It shows up every now and then. I pick it out. I believe it came with some hornwort or guppy grass I had. I've had it ever since I've had Neo Carradina tanks. It'll pop up every now and then, and I just pull it out. Thanks, babe. The brown ones are the mixed. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. Definitely not. I would say that's a unique situation for sure, because it's not often we have concerns like that. So I'm sorry that happened to you. Yeah, these guys will steal that food and we'll never see it again. Tim says, that's what I use. iPhone 11, excellent 4K video. Yeah, it's all about your settings and lighting. So lighting makes a huge difference. As you can tell, this looks washed out. And that's because the amount of floating plants I have in this tank, the light's just not getting through. So you can see the difference. It's just the lighting. All right, let's switch to these guys here. So this is the Serrata tank. This is my Aura Blue Serrata with my Tangerine Tigers. Go ahead and move this light over. And move some plants so that way you guys can see. And then we'll stream for a little bit longer, and then I think we're gonna go get some lunch. Yeah, Joe's Farm Grill. All right, there we go. I think I adequately got the plants out of the way. That should be a pretty good shot for you guys. Which I love these Aura Blues. They look absolutely amazing. And you can see that I've been crossing them with the Tangerine Tigers. We're trying to get some green Aura Shrimp, which is going to take quite a few generations and culling and all kinds of fun stuff. But this tank being mixed is a cool tank to look at because they have that greenish tint with the orange bodies. And .4K video files are huge. 15-minute video is like 6 gigs. Jamie said, I had to rescape my Blue Dream because of Bladderwort. Yeah, if it gets in your moss, you pretty much have to scrap the moss. But I found if you take your tweezers, grab an end, and then just slowly pull, usually it'll come out without breaking. But if you're pulling hard, then it does rip. So you got to be very gentle when you're trying to get that stuff out of there. But usually you can excavate it out of some moss. And if you think about it, if it's buried inside your moss, deep inside there, it doesn't matter. It's the shrimplets aren't going to get in there to get eaten. And the bladder bladderwort has to be super mature for it to even eat any of your shrimp. It's because the pods are super tiny. They're, how many times can I say super? They're really little. So those pods are really little, and the chance of getting a shrimplet in there, it's low odds, but you don't want anything that's going to hurt your shrimp. I can't believe how big these F1s are getting. You can see the F1s are almost as big as the parents. So once we move, we'll have a good colony of F1s to start breeding together to see how they do. And then once we get them breeding, then we can start crossing them back. Did you see that tangerine, how yellow that was? There was one that was like neon yellow, almost looked like a yellow King Kong. Yeah, there's an absolute crap ton of shrimp in this tank. You can tell by the substrate that there's tons of shrimp in here. And I don't feed it too much. It's not like I'm overfeeding the tank. It's just there's tons of shrimp. I just culled out about 50 of the yellows. That's why this tank looks mostly blue. I kept the adult tangerines, but I culled out most of those yellow tangerines. Got the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and all I do is take pictures of my dogs. Yeah. When we move, we'll probably have to get a new phone. Right? Yeah, in 4 to 6 years. It can take, oh, there it is. You see that yellow one? The super bright one? That guy looks like it's like a King Kong almost. These guys are notorious for moving the food around too. But yeah, look at the substrate. It's just filthy, nasty, dirty. And that's with me cleaning it. Not the substrate, but cleaning the glass. This is one of my messiest tanks. YouTube has some issues sometimes. So if you have a computer, try uploading it or try putting it on your computer and uploading it that way. Otherwise, delete the YouTube app and re-download it and then try that way. That's the only way I've gotten it to work. But there's times where it won't upload from my phone. There's times it won't upload from my iPad. And it's definitely frustrating. I don't know what causes it. And then you can always try lowering your upload quality. I upload at full quality, so it is 4K, but you can go down to 1080p. I've heard that if you upload in 4K, YouTube actually promotes your videos more because you are uploading in the highest format possible. And depending on what software you use to edit your video, you can actually change the quality. So if you want to lower it to 1080p, you can do that too.
The puppy's not gonna go outside.
They went this morning. I made sure. Yeah. All right. Well, I am starting to get hangry, so we're going to go ahead and call the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming in here and hanging out with me. I definitely enjoy our Wednesdays together, and it's a lot of fun. And, you know, thanks for stopping in. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And look out for that video tomorrow for the shrimp contest. You're just going to be able to see the shrimp that I entered and me boxing it up and sending it on its way. And then if you haven't, go check out my video that I posted yesterday. It was last week's video. I just revamped it a little bit, added some new video content, as well as I redid the voiceover. So if you watched my video last week and then before I pulled it, now you can watch it again with the revamp. So go check those out. And thank you guys so much for coming in here. You know, you guys are amazing. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.